Alright, so hadn't done a salvaging video in a while, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So with the gold standard of the Terrapin, I've decided to go find a Terrapin on one of the salvage missions. So we're going to go ahead and see what all we can get off of it. I'm not going to worry about the weapons because they're only like badgers or bulldogs or something like that, so they're weak. Um, but we are going to try to take the systems out. So we're going to try and take the systems out, then we're going to scrape it, and then we're going to disintegrate it. So here we go. So good line of sight. All right, so first up, we've got fuses. And yes, you can remove these. So we're going to go ahead and store it. It'll go in your backpack. Can't really do much with them yet, but hey, a fuse is a fuse. Let's see, we got, looks like power plant. Come on. Sometimes they're a little stubborn. You just got to keep messing with them. I like to use the multi-tool for this rather than the big max lift tractor beam because the max lift tractor beam can actually cause the ship to start drifting if it catches. All right, let's grab something else first, then we'll come back to it. All right, so we got, it's like the quantum drive here. So we got that out. Go ahead and get that sent over. Maybe we'll try the power plant again after that. So basically I do this and get all the parts over there, and then I'll go over and situate them. There we go. Got us a daybreak. See, next up, we got, looks like another fuse. So we'll go ahead and get this pulled, stored. I guess I probably could have. All right. All right, so it's stored. All right, let's get our multi-tool back out. So we've got shields and coolers yet. And the Terrapin actually has 2 shield modules, 2 coolers. So we'll get them out. Nope, we don't want that. That's too powerful for this. All right. Just gotta wait for it to register the module. There we go. All right, basically just gonna pull these kind of straight out or down at an angle a little bit. Just follow the arrows usually. All right, so we'll get that one over there. Get the shield module out. All right. The other shield module. All in all, these are all damaged components, as you can tell by the red line um, for the health of them. So far, I have not been able to repair any of them. but I haven't tried putting it in a ship in 324.3 to see if I could actually repair it. I did try repairing it with both the multi-tool, Cambria SRT, as well as uh, the salvage rifle as well, uh, and neither one of them the Cambria SRT. So the multi-tool has got the Cambria SRT Light, and then you have the Cambria SRT is the actual rifle one for that. So go ahead and get this organized, get it prepped so that we can actually put boxes in here. Um, all right, let's see. Yeah, that'll work. So, but basically, we'll put this in the walkway in the aisle so that we can still put boxes on the grid. And of course, so we can still get through. They have significantly reduced the amount of salvage you get from ships and so forth now. So, so these $20,000 missions, you could probably do multiples of those before you have to worry about emptying out. I mean, it's still good money. Um, just kind of a spoiler. So this terrapin here that I'm doing, after the 20,000 I paid for the mission, I still made like 55 grand off of it, and it only took me like 15 minutes. So not counting travel time. But if you like chain a bunch of these together at like the same station, you can make a fortune still. All right, so we'll go ahead and get underneath this and do the underside first. Um, really, what it comes down to is just kind of pick a spot and start there and work your way down or up side to side, but be consistent. That way you don't miss anything. So I usually start at the nose and I'll work my way down. I'll either do it, depending on the day, I'll work down one side, then back up, or I'll work at the top or like the tip of the ship and I'll just go back and forth across it all the way down. So it really just depends on the ship. So in this particular case, we're going to do it this way because this is kind of a wide ship, but it's not real deep. We still got some graphical issues where you'll look like there's still material there to pick up, but there isn't. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just pay attention to the percentages that are in the circle there. If it shows that there's nothing there and nothing's picking up, then you're probably not picking up anything up and it's time to move on. I should also mention I went out to do a Vulture as well, and I wasn't able to scrape it. But I was able to pull all the components off of it except for the quantum drive. So, and on average for the components, you're looking at roughly probably about, on a medium sized ship like this, you're looking at probably about 20 grand. Or, sorry, 15, between 15 and 20 grand for the components. So the components themselves almost pay for it. And then on these, like this size ship, you're probably looking at about four to five SCU of RMC at about 10 grand a pop on average. I know at Orison they're paying about 12K in SCU, so I've been selling there. However, the construction materials are selling for maybe 1,500, so they're a little less than the average. I think where a lot of this is going to come into play is down the road, the components specifically, when we're able to do crafting and upgrading and so forth like that, we'll be able to repair these modules and then actually upgrade them. And then theoretically, we'll be able to sell them or use them ourselves. Because it should also be mentioned that at some point they're planning on randomizing. So when you do these salvage missions like this, you might come across a ship that actually has, like, say, a small ship like a prospector or something like that that actually has an atlas. Um, so, and supposedly they're going to make it so you can only get drives like that. Certain drives you'll only be able to get through crafting or salvaging from another ship. We don't know when that's going to be or what that's going to be yet, but that was the original plan, assuming they don't change. Um, so if there's a significant side profile on the ships, I go ahead and scrape it. If there's not, I don't worry about it. I mean, obviously, if there's something to get, I want it, because otherwise it's pointless. But some ships are just real narrow height wise, like especially like some of your starter ships, like the Crusader, um, the Spirit. So there's not a lot on the sides to get. You can usually get all of it from the top or bottom. And the other thing you could do to top off money is you could actually take a mission like this at, say, if you're at Orison, say go to Crew L1 and take a mission like this. And then while you're out there, because these are usually found in the belt surrounding the Lagrange points, while you're out there doing that, you could be scanning for panels. If you find the panels, they're usually in multiples of 2,000 still. Like I found one yesterday, I think it was, that's actually was 12,000. It had 6 panels. And I probably got an additional, call it 8 to 10 SEU of RMC off of that. So at 12 grand a pop times 7 even, we're looking at, 84,000. On top of the 55 I made off of this. So, now we're talking 100 some thousand. And I still had room. I could have actually done another ship or two or another section of panels. So it's you could easily pull in 200 grand in one of these, probably an hour, depending on what you find. Now, of course, it's just like mining. It all depends on what you find. If you're out there doing a salvage mission and you look for panels afterwards and you don't find anything, then you don't find anything. But if you do, the potential is there to make a fortune. This is going to come in kind of as a key thing once 4.0 drops and we get the full wipe, which they've confirmed. So 4.0 will see a full wipe, money, rep, everything. You'll be completely reset back to just what you have from the pledge store and your starting money. With that being said, we'll probably start out at like 20 grand or 40 grand or something like that. So, I have not seen them yet do it where we actually start at zero, like 1,000 or 5,000. It's usually a little bit more. Now, once we go live in 1.0, you will have whatever your starting money is, and that's it. All right, we'll get the last little bit off of this. So I got about 4 off of this. I think I had a little bit left in there still from before. So, and some of that point 2 is construction materials too, if I remember right. All right, so now that we've got the whole thing scraped, we'll break it apart. In order to break it apart, you'll actually go your left alt W will actually put you in fracture mode. Lined up here. I like to be kind of centered. So, like I said, left alt W will put you in fracture mode, and then basically you just pull the trigger to start it, and assuming you're close enough, you'll actually start the process. Now, this has changed a little bit because before we were only getting about 3 or 4 pieces. This is actually breaking up into about a half a dozen or more pieces, as you can see. And they're all construction materials, so you can get all of it. All right, same thing as previously. The closer you are to it, the less that penalty is. The farther you are from it, the higher it is, up to about -19 or something like that. I think the best I've seen is like +6 or 8 or something like that. But I usually just try to get close enough. And if it's actually a small piece, I don't really worry about it too much because 19% of 0.2 something isn't much. And sometimes there's something to be said for speed. So, um, let's see. All right, let's see if we got anything else here. Yep, there we go. Looks like there's another piece off to the left there too. So we had 4.2. Now we're up to like 8 point something, which means we're going to have roughly about 5 to 6 SCU of construction materials. Again, this will also come into play later when we're doing crafting and base building, when you have to actually have these materials, or when they actually finally get around to making it so that the RMC and the construction materials break down into their components like aluminum, titanium, whatever. So we'll see what happens. But so there we go. That is the full salvage of the Anvil Terrapin. Obviously, the medical is not in, or the medic's not in yet. All right. So then, once you're done with this, you could either continue on and do another one, or you could go back and do this. So I went back here. Like I said, I did try to repair, but it wouldn't let me do it. So, but right now we're just moving stuff around a little bit, trying to see like where they're at. So they're all damaged. All right. So we ended up with about 4 SCU of RMC and about 5 or so construction materials. All in all, I made 55 grand off this run. So I won't bore you with the actual details because I didn't actually sell the components right away. Um, so, but there you go. First recorded salvage run in 324.3. Still alive and kicking in the verse. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Again, if you enjoy the videos, please like and subscribe so it'll actually get up in the rankings a little bit so other people will see it too. And that'll basically let me keep making these. Obviously, I'm making them more to help people than anything. So I'm not really worried about monetization or anything like that. But it is nice to know that it's appreciated. So, and subscribing and liking does that. Other than that, have a good day.